Good morning, YouTube family. This is Lee. I wanted to come back with a video reply to a lie that was spread again this morning on YouTube. I was in a live chat and somebody said something and it really set me off. I think it's time to dispel that. But a couple things I want you to understand. Number one, Will Rogers had a famous quote. He says, "It's not what man knows that's the problem. It's what man knows that ain't so that is the problem." So a lot of us are really convinced of things that we don't have any proof or fact on, and we think that we're right by spreading that word. But I'll tell you, if you don't know, you're spreading false witness. Another one that I would like to share with you is Lily Tomlin at 9:50 on Thursday nights when I was growing up in high school on a show called Rowan and Martin. Used to sit in a rocking chair and give us some fantastic philosophical advice. And she would say, and one of my favorites of hers was, "I have never told a lie in my life, but I do know how to make up the truth, and that's the truth." So Lily Tomlin taught us that you can lie with them just by simply creating the truth. And there's a lot of people creating truths that they don't know anything about. So let me show you something called Joe Harry's window. So this is Joe Harry's window. There are things, and it's divided up into 4 quadrants. There are things that I know about myself, and there are things I don't know about myself. There are things that you know about me and things that you don't know about me. So the things that you know about me and I know about me: poorly trimmed gray beard, older guy, balding head. Those are common. Everybody knows that. So some things that are not known to me but are known to you, how am I coming across? Am I coming across as I know what I'm talking about? Am I believable? Am I sincere? I don't know. I hope I'm coming across that way, because I am, but I don't know. You know that. I don't. Then there are things I know about myself that you don't know, and those are my hidden things. I have secrets I won't share with anybody. And I've made some bad mistakes in my life, and I'll admit that, but I'm not going to share them publicly. And then there are things that I know about that I don't know about myself, and you don't know about myself. How am I going to react in a certain situation? I don't know. Until I'm thrust into that situation. So we can change some of those words to I know, I don't know, I know, I don't know. There are things I know I know. I'm a 32nd degree Mason. I had to quit that because I'm Roman Catholic. I did not know that being Roman Catholic, there's a prohibition against being Freemason, and I had to choose between the two, so I chose Roman Catholicism over Freemasonry. Spent 21 years working for NSA. There are things that I do know, and I see a lot of false information being spread by people who don't know, and so I know that I know those things, okay? There are some things I know I don't know. I don't know anything about the Illuminati. I don't know anything about Skull and Bones. I do know that there's been an awful lot of bad things said about them. I don't know whether they're true or not. I do know that supposedly John Kerry was a member of Skull and Bones. If that's the case, then I have a negative impression of the Skull and Bones simply because I have a negative impression of John Kerry. There are things that I know I don't know. I don't know how to do brain surgery. I don't know how to do open heart surgery. I don't know how to do a lot of things, and I know I don't. I'm working on my ham radio license right now, 21 years of electronic warfare and signals intelligence, and I'm trying to get my license on signals. How to send signals. And there are things that I don't know that I don't know. For example, I don't know what Putin's intentions are for the rest of this week. Nobody knows but Putin. So I know I don't know that. And I'm not going to try to speculate on on what I think his mind is saying. So let me give you a couple of examples of Lee's corollary to a whole bunch of different things. And that is, be careful sometimes spreading lies, because you may walk up to somebody and tell them your lie and they know exactly what the truth is. So this morning on this live chat, somebody said Freemasons are out. There's a conspiracy out to take over the world. And another guy came back and said, "I know. I used to be a Freemason, and I'll back that up." And I said, "Okay, if you used to be a Freemason, tell me, what's the first letter of the password for the first degree? What are the names of the 3 degrees? What is it called when you move from first to second degree? What is the name when it's moved from second to third degree? Don't know? Then you probably weren't a Freemason before, were you?" And he didn't say anything after that because he was challenged with something he couldn't answer. So no, he didn't used to be a Freemason. He's pounding sand up your skirt. I've had that done to me a couple times. I had a trailer, a disaster response trailer, and right after Katrina, right after I came back from Katrina, I used it as a concession stand, and I would go to motorcycle rallies and NASCAR up in Fort Worth. And then I also went to a place called Round Top Warrenton, where they have the largest antique show in the world. And this guy came up to the trailer and he asked if he could order food. And I said, sure. And he says, well, I'd also like a 10% military discount. I said, okay. What service did you serve in? He said, Navy. I said, oh, wow, that's neat. What'd you do? He says, I was a SEAL. I said, okay. What rating? He says, what? I said, what rating? What's that? And I said, oh, okay. What rank? He said, oh, first lieutenant. I said, okay. And you're a first lieutenant in the Navy, that's right? And he said, yeah, that's right. I said, okay. And how were you commissioned? They only have 3 commissions in the Navy, limited duty officer, line officer, and staff officer. And he says, oh, I was commissioned as a SEAL. I said, okay. I said, buddy, I'm not going to give you a 10% discount. I'm going to give you a 10% increase in prices because of stolen valor. The Air Force has a first lieutenant. The Marines have first lieutenants, and the Army has first lieutenants. The Navy, starting at 02, actually at 01 is an ensign, 02 is lieutenant junior grade, 03 is a lieutenant, and 04 is lieutenant commander. But they don't have first lieutenants. You're pounding sand up my skirt. So a little while later, I ran into another guy when I was doing my HR, in my HR consulting firm, and he was trying to impress me, and he told me that he was the leading authority on PTSD, and he had a PhD in theology, he had a PhD in psychology, and he was the expert on PTSD. And I said, oh, that's great. And he says, as a matter of fact, I know so much that I went straight from major to colonel. And I thought, okay, well, I know that in the medical corps and in the chaplain's corps, they both bypass 01 and 02, that is second lieutenant, first lieutenant, or ensign and lieutenant JG in the Navy, and go directly to 03, which is a captain in 3 of the services, and a lieutenant in the Navy. And so it's possible he could have bypassed major and gone straight to colonel, because those branches do weird things. So I thought, okay, well, which branch were you commissioned in? And he said, airborne. Buddy, there is no commissioning in airborne. It's an additional skill indicator. So once again, somebody who didn't know that I knew what they were talking about tried to pull the wool over my eyes. And, it just doesn't work that way. So let me just tell you, Lee's Law number 37. Be careful who you tell a lie to, because the person you're lying to just might know the truth and call you on your lie. So let me go back here to a couple other things. I had a much longer one. My wife said it was much too contentious, and it was also a little bit too long. So just I have some other biblical verses here, if I can find them, in this long list of things I wanted to say. Oh, there they are. Exodus 20:16, thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. Exodus 22, 1 and 2, you shall not utter a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. Proverbs 19:9, a false witness will not go unpunished, and he who utters lies will perish. 1 John 4:1, beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have come out into the world. And I'm going to tell you, test the people who tell you things, because there are many false prophets out there bearing false witness against this organization. Okay? There was another woman on that same chat channel just a couple days before. Well, let me tell you one guy said, the color of Masons is red because that's the color of blood for the sacrifices on their altar. This is now red, people. Did you know that? Yeah, this is red. Okay, so this other woman asked me, did your master tell you you worship the devil in your ceremonies? I said, no, I didn't know that. So let's take one reading here. I'm going to pull this green tab. Okay, these are one of our important readings in Freemasonry. So let me just show you what it says. It says John 11, 21 through 26. Okay, so let's read this important satanic reading of the Freemasons. It says, then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, If thou had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give to you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. And Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. And Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life, and he that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and he believeth in me shall never die. Do you believe this? And she said unto him, yes, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come unto the world. So if that's satanic teaching from this woman, and remember, women are never allowed to be Freemasons, who knows nothing about Freemasonry, take these things into consideration as you walk around listening to what people have to say. Because I'm going to tell you, unless they are one, they don't know what they're talking about. And I just showed you one of those satanic verses. I wish you all a happy day, and please be careful who you listen to, what they're saying, and just ask yourself a question. Does that sound right? Have a great day. God bless you.